So when I set out to research fear of success, I just knew it was a problem for me and I wasn't getting any answers. The only two that I had found were that fear of success is fear of consequences of success, and fear of success just is fear of loss of success. And those are definitely part of it. But I went on and found three more, okay, which are fear of false success, fear of what we falsely believe we have to do, have, or be in order to be successful, and what I consider to be the core fear of success, which is our fear of doing, having, or being the very thing that we want to do, have, or be, which is namely just being ourselves. And the reason I teach, excuse me, all five of them is because they all get caught up and tangled together. And our core fear of success will also use the other fears to try and stop us from just being ourselves, just living our lives, just being happy, doing what we love, enjoying life. And it sounds really basic, and it is, but it's also what all the great teachers have been teaching us for years and years and years, that our great difficulty is enjoying life, embracing life. That's why we get stuck in things like alcoholism, perfectionism, workaholism, all those things, because we're trying to avoid life. And of course, life is everything, you know, it's the ups and the downs. Yeah? And sometimes we have these life coaches, spiritual teachers that are just trying to give us just the sugar in life, you know, just the sweet stuff. But we know that life is the sweet and the sour, the up and the down. You know, there's a very popular line that has been around since, particularly since Queen Elizabeth II lost her husband, which is that grief is the price of love. So when we're out there and we're really living our lives to the full, we experience all the emotions. We experience grief, we experience loss, we experience all of those things, but they're part of living a fabulous life, part of living a great life. You know, if you were watching a movie and it was just, and something good happened and something good happened and nothing bad ever happened, there was no ups, there was no downs, you wouldn't sit there and watch that movie, you'd get bored. And sometimes what we do is we create drama in our lives because we're missing out on the real drama. Okay, so the real drama of life is the stuff we cannot avoid. Of course, people get sick, people die, nothing, you know, we don't succeed at everything that we try. We have failure, that's part of the process. But if we're not embracing the real, you know, the nitty gritty, what happens is that we create this fake drama in our lives. And I just wanted to share that because fear of success is something that people find very difficult to grasp. And I'm very proud of my instructor training that I do, because everybody gets it when they do the instructor training, because we work together, okay? So I teach, but then we do case studies. We don't do role play yet. Maybe we'll do that in the future. But what we do is we work together. And because we're working together, we see that fear of success reflected in each other and each other's practices. So we really get the picture. And I love that we learn through stories and through examples. And I just love that. And I love the fact that everybody gets it and everybody says that it changes everything, you know, immediately. Even I split one training into two parts, and by the time the second part started a week later, somebody came in and said, everything's changed in a week. All my reactions, all my responses have changed because I now understand what I'm doing. I understand that I'm pushing success away. I'm pushing my authentic responses, my authentic self away in the way I'm behaving. And I just love that. And we all do it, and we all fall into that trap of going backwards, of pretending, trying to be something that we're not. And I think nothing has really done that for me as much recently is the pandemic, you know, having to push away all the things that were natural to me, you know, like hugging people, you know, all the things I loved, and having to kind of pretend that I was okay. Even though I was saying I wasn't okay, you know, but I was really pushing myself and forcing myself to live a life that wasn't authentic. And it wasn't authentic for almost any of us, you know, and I'm good on my own, okay? I can be a bit of a hermit, but even so, that was tough, right? So we've all had to kind of live a life that wasn't us recently in the last, few years. And it's hard to come back from that. It's hard to let go of those habits, let go of those practices, and really come back to who we are, And also, as we do that, there's a lot of pain because we are grieving, we're grieving the time that we've lost. We're also probably going through some PTSD as well. And we're also going through some survivor guilt as well. And these are all the things I break down and go into in my books and in my trainings, everything like that. But this video is really just, I want you to understand, because before I really started to get this, I was doing a lot of work and I was having a great journey, and I'm doing the audiobooks now. And as I read it, sometimes I think, yes, I love this because it's all these lessons that I learned that were all part of overcoming fear of success, because it was all about going on a journey to coming back to who I truly am. And in doing that, I found, all the ways that I had stopped myself. I found all the lies that we tell ourselves in society. And it's funny, I think I'm very brave to teach this. I do, because it's a really difficult thing. And it's something that people have spent thousands of years, even though I might say, oh, fear of success, that's kind of a pop thing, that's a modern thing. The language, yes. But the truth of it goes back thousands and thousands of years. It goes back to Buddha. It goes back to Jesus. It goes back to the Arc Solis, which is actually the old ancient pilgrimage that is actually now called the Way, or the Camino de Santiago. Before it was known as the Camino de Santiago, you followed the path to the Temple of the Sun. And that pathway predates Christianity. I don't know how old the Kumano Kodo is in Japan, but again, these practices go back thousands and thousands of years. All the healing I do goes back, not all of it, but a lot of it goes back thousands and thousands of years, because we've been fighting the fear of success for thousands and thousands of years. I'm just talking about it in this language because this is the way it has come to me. This is the way it's been revealed to me. And so that's why I talk about it in this way. And I think that's probably appropriate, because so many people are learning all this stuff coming through, what we now call personal development, what we used to call self-help. And even now we're adopting it in businesses and talking about, we talk about CPD, but a lot of that can be talking about, how do we improve our workplace culture? How do we improve our workplace environment? All those things. And it's all the same thing. It's all about stopping what I would call toxic behavior, okay? Because it's like a drug, right? So anytime we're doing something that's keeping us in that space, it's toxic, in the same way that alcohol will be toxic to an alcoholic, So anytime we're getting past that stuff, then we are doing the work of coming back to our true selves. And, I love it. But I think I'm really brave, because there's a title of one of the chapters in the book I'm doing now, the audiobook, which is Compassion and Self-Compassion, Camino de la Luna, Compassion and Self-Compassion. And the title of the chapter, and it makes me laugh, because it reminds me of understanding this, writing it the first time, which is, nothing really important can ever be truly understood by a grown-up. And that's from The Little Prince. And I think it's one of those things that sometimes we have to let go of all the things that we've learned and come back to just being a little kid again, to letting go of all those grown-up things and remembering what it's like, when I go to the beach and all the kids are there having a whale of a time, and I remember what life is all about. So nothing really important can ever be understood by a grown-up. So maybe we have to let go of being grown-ups in order to truly enjoy life. Maybe. Anyway, speak soon.